Thank you for tuning in to another Beernomics podcast, episode 104. I'm your host, Jerry.
And I'm Vic.
We have some special guests with us here from the lounge at the end of the universe. Jen and Coral, say hi.
What's up?
Hello. All right. Yeah, we're going to get into that soon. We have a pretty fun one. Check out the new look for those of you that watch and don't listen.
True, yeah. You guys have seen a little bit more of this in the coming weeks, so this should be pretty fun.
I think so. Expect some cool stuff from Beernomics and the lounge, but before we get into that, let's have a nice little beer icebreaker.
You're just getting right to it.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
We're gonna do some drinking.
It is a beer podcast.
Yeah, no,
that's what
good.
we do.
Yeah, that's right. Let's beer.
We drink and we talk about things. I'll do my best not to spill this one.
Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yes.
So the first beer I got, because when we first met Jen, she said she's not much of a beer drinker.
Well, I have an allergy. Yeah, I'm allergic, so not a lot of beer. As this progresses, if I keep drinking, you guys are going to get to see a really fun little chest rash. It's just, don't worry, I'm okay.
Cool.
It's good to know. Yeah.
All right. It's good nice that we've been warned. So our first beer is a Kolsch. Good luck pronouncing that one. The only reason it's from Freigeist.
I believe it's pronounced Freigeist.
It is called the Eau de Cologne. It doesn't. I would never guess that. By the way, it's spelled Ottekolong.
Is it very aromatic?
But Kolsches traditionally come from Cologne, Germany.
Yes, they do.
Historically. So I had Jen brought up a little Kolsch story when we first met. So I thought, hey, this is appropriate as any.
Nice.
What do you got on Untapped for us, Vic?
Yeah, so going over Untapped, so if you guys are unfamiliar with Untapped, basically we utilize the Untapped social media platform to help us rate and understand beer a little bit. So I'll kind of go over some information with you. So in an effort to not pronounce this name super wrong, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my best here.
Eau de Cologne.
Say it with me.
Eau de Cologne.
Okay. All right. So Untapped has this sitting at a 3.45, derived from about 5,700 ratings, and it reads, bottle notes rich, hoppy, and complex. Eau de Cologne, also meaning Eau de Cologne, Kolsch is traditional unfiltered version of the city's local specialty. So go ahead, give it a sniff, give it a taste, tell us what you think.
Yeah, it's Cologne, but it is not from Kolsch, Germany. This is from Bloomington, Indiana. These guys started in 2009.
That's really far away.
The mission. Freigeist was founded in 2009 with a mission to revive Germany's lost regional artisanal ales. So
artisanal, that means
German
fancy.
beer with an American take, I suppose.
Well, it definitely has a German beer flavor to it.
Good.
I really love a Kolsch. It's one of my favorite easy drinking beers.
Now, did this one say it was an unfiltered Kolsch? Now, what makes that different?
Nothing. It's just marketing.
Yeah.
A lot of time, there's really no such thing as an unfiltered beer. It's all bullshit. So it's one of those things they'll put on the can just to make it seem a little bit more special. Sometimes it does kind of skip a little, like they didn't leave it in the cheesecloth for as long to let it drain out or whatever it may be. But you could tell by looking at it. It's not like cloudy. You can't see through it, but I definitely wouldn't say unfiltered. It's just marketing. That's really all it is.
Okay, well, good. Thank you for clearing that up for me, because I already felt stupid about beer, so now I'm slightly less stupid, which is good.
No, we don't claim to be experts. We're just enthusiasts. No worries.
We get to drink and learn things.
Exactly. So what was its rating?
3.45.
Okay. So this is at 5%. It's probably right where it should be. Fuck, I don't remember what this one cost. I always try to judge beer based off the price point, too.
Can we check on the internets?
Yeah, well, we get it from Brewers Haven, or this one from there, so it could be different. I think it was around, I want to say $6 a can, if memory serves right. Which is a bit much, I think. I would give this beer a 3.25.
3.25.
I'd drink it. I'd get drunk off it, but it'd take a while at 5%.
Really? Yeah, and it comes down to like drinkability sometimes. Like, how often could we continue to re-drink this beer? And so, yeah, 3.25, if you imagine sort of that bell curve, a 2.5 is going to be the peak of that bell curve. So we're coming in on the upper end of that. So, yeah, I think a 3.25, I'll double down with you on that. I think it's a very apt rating on it. I would, high re-drinkability, I'd continue to drink it sweet, but safe. I like it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask dumb people questions because I'm not much of a beer drinker. So I'm here to represent all of those people. Now, there's something about German beer specifically that, like, I can taste the sweetness, but there's always, like, especially right on the front, it's a little salty. What makes it taste like that? Pilsners are like that too. There's just like that, some kind of little bit of a salty flavor.
My guess has always been the water that they use with it. And I'm always curious with this one because it's an American take on a German ale. If you were to have the exact same ingredients but American water versus German water, they would taste like two totally different beers. Do you ever drink St. Pauli? Girl, that comes in the green bottle. It's kind of like Beck's or Heineken.
I thought that was near beer.
Well, you're not wrong.
But a lot of people really like it. But that was brewed in Germany, and they just got bought out by Anheuser-Busch, and they're brewing in America now, and a lot of places are refusing to hold it. They're saying now that it's different water, it's a different beer.
I kind of feel like Anheuser-Busch is sort of like the first order of beer, and then there's all of these little rebellions, little
or the
microbreweries
Walmart
that are
of
like,
beer or
resist!
something. Yeah. That's a really good way to put it. I like that. Yeah.
I like it.
But I don't know what would say specifically that. I don't know if it's a malt that they use.
I'm not sure. I like your description about the water being different, not unlike like a Scotch. If you were to drink the same Scotch in different areas of Scotland, you would get a different taste based on the mineral composition of the water. So I do think that's fair, but I don't know.
I can buy into that, and here's why. As a native New Yorker who grew up there, bagels are better there, and it has everything to do with the
I've
water.
heard that.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard that. And it makes me really want to try
it. If there are
it.
any people from New York washing, they're all nodding their heads right now like, yep, it's the water.
I've seen that on just like
Yeah.
travel shows and cooking shows and stuff when they always mention that the bagels are best in New York because of the water. So maybe there's something to that.
Something to it.
Ladies, what would you rate it?
Right.
Because you have to. 'Cause you're like, wait, what? We don't do
Okay,
this.
so it's out of 4 or out of 5?
Out
Up to
of
5.
Out of 5, okay.
I don't know if we've ever, maybe once or twice, rated a beer a 5 on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I really don't know what I'm doing, and I also have a beer allergy. One thing I didn't mention is that makes me really sensitive to the effects of it.
Mm-hmm.
So on the fact that I already have a buzz off of a quarter of a cup, I'll give it a 3.5. Can I do that? 3.5?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Give it a 3.5?
And just so you're aware, this is sitting at 5% alcohol by volume, 20 IBUs.
Jen's a big old puss.
No, wait, I totally understand where you're coming from with your allergy.
and that's the lower end of the spectrum for today, so.
Oh shit! we're climbing the mountain. We
fucking
didn't start at the top and
Thanks.
we're not coasting down. Okay, all right. This
We got a
conversation's
ways.
gonna get real interesting then. Okay.
It's
Good
gonna
time.
be an adventure.
Yep. I should pace myself instead of being like, "Ooh, free alcohol," like I
I'd
have
say
for the last
fucking
20 years. Of like, I should drink this and
get after it.
value.
Coral, did you rate it?
Yeah, I would go the same 3.5. Like it doesn't have a ton of flavor. Like it's not upfront and like in your face like so many of the beers nowadays are with like the IPAs and things like that. But like it's enjoyable, it's drinkable, and it's definitely better than Coors Light.
Oh, absolutely. A Kolsch is a
You
good.
sounded way smarter than I do about this.
I've drank more beer than you.
Yes, that is true. I rely on her actually here at the lounge to be the person like, taste this and tell me if it's good.
Perfect.
So.
Yeah, that's important. So yeah, I would say this is a good one. It's like if you want to do a good drinking game, summer drinking game outdoors or something, but you don't want to drink a domestic, this would be a damn fine.
I would play
replacement
beer
for it.
pong with this.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
I would play the first round, and then you guys would have to put me down for nap time. But I was
Substitution.
gonna say this is a nice beer, like coming out of the cold weather, and like what's today, like 70?
Yeah.
70.
Yeah,
72,
so it's a nice beer for that. Plus, it's really hot in here under the
That's true.
lights of this very dim bar we're in.
That's true.
Wink, wink.
All right, so I guess let's get after it, huh? Jen, Coral, thank you for having us. Thank you for everything. As you can see, this is a nice little setup that they help, I don't know if they put together for us or is just here and are helping us utilize.
Well, while we're on it, let's give a shout out to the tech crew.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Gabriel, Jordan. Without them, none of this would be here at all. Like
They've
I don't know
created
what
an
I did
amazing
right in my
space.
life, but
No, that's pretty awesome because I tell you, we're 104 episodes and not all of them are on video. We started to do that a while ago. I can't even begin to explain how much better. Just go look at last week's. Don't even watch it. Just go look at it.
Look at it. Don't
What is that?
That's
a step up.
we appreciate your wizardry and your magic that you accomplish.
The people that watched last week's and then watch this one are going to be like, did they get a grant or something?
Yeah,
What happened?
exactly.
Did they hire a team?
Who'd they blow? Who'd they blow?
They got a fairy
You
god.
gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So, but this is one thing, and part of the reason I think we did this is with Love the Lounge, we think they're great for community, and right now, with our quarantines, it's more necessary than ever to remind ourselves that we do have a very strong local community in a lot of ways, whether it's beer, comedy, music, a lot of different shit. So we need to let the world know that it's going to be okay, and I think Jen is doing a good job help leading that charge. So tell us a little bit about just the lounge, what it is, why you set it up, what your hopes is, what your goals is.
Cool. All right.
Other
Well,
is
and
this-
a lot of people give me credit, and I want to throw credit at Coral as well because she built this place with me. So and is totally on board with the philosophy, and so it's been both of us for sure, and then all of the great people that we've had along the way that have contributed. So there's no way that that any of this wouldn't happen with there's like several dozen people that have in some way put their love and attention and peace into this. So thank you to everybody that has done that so far. But yeah, so this place is really, it's a nightclub community center. It's like the weirdest combination of shit.
It's
like
awesome.
You know how when you go to the Boys and Girls Club, this is the place you go like when you grow up, but you still want that vibe. I think where it's like you come in, there are people that you know that you love, but that we all help each other out. So. You're gonna have to ask me more questions because that beer is definitely fucking with my head right now. So I'm literally the last 30 seconds of what I just said was like, what the hell am I talking about right now?
Awesome.
No, we're just
it's
getting into
great.
the lounge. So, what is your background before this? What was it that made you think, you know what I should do? I should start a lounge. Where should we put it? Fucking into the universe.
Right.
Best
yes.
place possible.
Okay, well, so I'm a bit of I don't know, I got a jumbled up mix of all kinds of stuff, but I love sci-fi and I love being able to imagine us like a lot of sci-fi is sort of at our peak, or at least on our way to our peak potential as humanity, and so I love the possibilities that are out there in the sci-fi world. And so when we were starting, this is all by mistake. All of this just happened by accident. And it's weird because so many things have happened by accident just in the last 10 years. I moved here by accident 13 years ago. I was just coming for a 2-month vacation, and I was like, I guess I live in Idaho now. Yeah.
It has that effect on people.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I fell in love with the place when I moved here, especially as a New Yorker. I was like, everybody's nice and shit is really cheap, like utopia. And especially the city's a little bit more liberal, kind of Boise. So I felt like I could be accepted here pretty well. But I came in for another project into the GEM Center, which is where we are. We're located inside the GEM Center for the Arts, which is an arts collective. And I came and emceed the opening gala. That was 2 Februaries ago, this past February. A friend of mine who was working here when it very first started out called and asked if I would MC their big opening gala show that was just going on. I said, oh yeah, sure. And then I just got here and completely fell in love with the place. There's a theater, there's a dance studio. That was a beer burp. And this was a gallery out here. And in the course of doing this other project in the building, which was an art project, I accidentally opened a bar inside of it. So I was like, you know what this place is missing? It's missing alcohol and a place for people to gather. So I pitched it to the woman who owns the building, and originally I was going to support her in doing it. She was like, I don't know shit about the bar business. And I was like, well, I've worked in bars since I was 13, and I will help you. And then 2 weeks later, she was like, I think you need to open your own business, and then supported me in doing it. I mean, I was a stand-up comedian for 20 years, and before that I was a professional magician for 11 years. I grew up in a magic show. My dad was a professional magician, and then after he passed away, I moved to Vegas, and I worked at a couple different of the casinos there and did some traveling around the world and stuff. And then I just realized, like, I was a comedian, because even in magic, everything I did just making fun of stuff. So then I did that, and so to be able to do this, it was impossible. So she like handed me a Lowe's card and was like, just get the materials you need. You can work them off on the other project. Like gave me a few months to not worry about rent to get up on my feet, and so and that's been the philosophy of this whole building. I mean, people just really helping each other and lifting each other up to the place where they can be more of what their potential is. The name is all my husband, because we were trying to come up with something, and you know, as a magician, I wanted to put effects in, especially because it's a kind of retro sci-fi lounge, and we call it a retro futuristic sci-fi themed lounge. But I wanted to put in like the bar top being, you know, an infinity mirror optical illusion, and I designed some tabletop optical illusions that now that we have quarantine, I can work on. But I mean, we plumbed in a sink, we did the whole deal, and you know, just going back and forth, like I want this bar to like have a narrative that if you kind of know what the nod is to, you go like, oh, okay, I'm into that, because it's a reference to
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Okay.
Restaurant at the End of the Universe, and I said, you know, and he was like, what about Lounge at the End of the Universe? So of course I hopped online and was like, all right, what are the copyright laws?
We do throw a towel party every year, though.
Yeah.
Nice.
May 25th is actually.
Forget to
Oh
bring
man.
a towel.
Yeah, I don't know if we're still going to be in quarantine. We probably are.
Probably, yeah,
but
we'll see.
Maybe
have to
we'll
do
work out a
virtual one.
growler deal or something like that if you bring a towel down.
Yeah, last year we had opened 2 weeks before, and everybody told everybody, if you come wearing a towel, everything's a buck off all night. And people came in robes and towels, and yeah, it was great. We were
Awesome.
juicing lemons back there and making gargle blasters, and it was a good time.
They were not good.
No, they were awful. And
But
people
we
still
sold
drank
a lot
them,
of
'cause they were
them.
like, all right, just in the spirit of it. Yeah. It was like at the end of the night, like after you finish all the good wine and you're like, fine, we'll open the friggin' rooster one that somebody brought for $2 or whatever. Like,
What do we got left? Is it the box wine? Get the box wine.
yeah, you know what? At my parties, it's usually that Rex Goliath that's left. You're
There
like,
you
oh,
go. There you go.
fine.
The cock
I'm not done being drunk. But anyway, so we just, and Coral's, you know, kind of a nerdy too, and into cosplay, and like we just, you know, I mean, I read Fangoria magazine when I was a kid, and went to
Nice.
horror conventions,
Yeah.
and like, you know, all that stuff. So this was just a place where, and it being in an arts collective, it kind of gave us permission to be weird. Like it didn't just have to be, you know, a bar and kind of standard and all that, because I didn't really want to own a bar. I wanted to own it's been my dream to have a theater. Or, you know, a cabaret or something like that. So you know, we just went futuristic with it. So I feel like I went off on a tangent there, guys. 'Cause no one
you're
else is
just
talking.
fine.
Except
No,
for me.
you're just fine. That's awesome.
The question was directed towards you.
Yeah.
So
Perfect. I know. But the thing is, I am a like compulsive talker. So
Yeah.
if you, sometimes you have to be like, and scene.
Oh,
Like,
I get it. I tend to steamroll conversations, so it's nice to have some competition.
That's why she
Steamroll,
owns an
baby.
event center.
Yeah. So I've just become more conscious of that. So I'm like, and maybe I should stop and check in with everybody here. It's
So what
my
about
relationship
you?
therapist told me to do.
There you go. What about you, Coral? What got you started here? Because I know you do a lot of the marketing, a lot of the outreach. You seem quite passionate about what goes on around here.
Yeah, I mean, I met Jen a couple of years ago at this point. It's crazy to think that we've been together that long.
Cue the
Business
wacky
partners
sitcom
in
music.
And like I just saw that what she was building here, and I was like, I want to be a part of this. I don't care if I get to participate or be like an up and coming part of it, or if I just get to help you build the space. So like I came in and painted these benches I don't know how many times because she kept changing her mind on what color they were going
I gotta
to be.
say, so she was Ubering at the time and would just come in between rides and go like, hey, what do you need me to do? Like, didn't ask me to pay her or whatever. She's just like, hey, I'll hang out and help, you know, just, I could see like how much she loved the idea of it. And then she's got a great personality. So I was like, how about you get your tip certification and you bartend here? And then that kind of started there. And then after like a pretty grueling first 6 months, you know, and just realizing that she really, like, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this. Like, she's been my right hand. And also, I'm a little dingy sometimes. I just forget shit. And so we're a really good, she's super detail-oriented. I'm big picture. And then I'm like, all right, make it happen. And she'll sit down and actually make lists and stuff. And then be like, here's the things you need to do today to accomplish all of this.
She actually tried to take today off. And I reminded her of about, 5 things that we had going on today.
When I wake up, I'm a very much in the moment person. And I've learned how to look further out, but sometimes when I wake up, I'm like, hey, it's today. What do I feel like doing?
It's 70 degrees
this morning I was
outside.
like, I think I'm gonna work in my texted her. I'm gonna garden for a little while, and then I'll be down tonight. And she was like, we have A, B, C, and D, and I was like, and that's why you're good for me. But yeah, and then after a little while, that just turned into I wanted to give her a piece of the business, so I just turned over 10% to her because I felt like she built this place and it belongs to not just both of us.
That's awesome.
So so that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, total accident that all this happened, but it's fantastic, and just the community piece of it being that I wanted this place to be, besides having so much imagination. And we have toys normally that we put out for like STEM toys, little building toys, and we've done coloring competitions. We got our weird coloring books in the back and stuff.
We actually just
true.
got a giant Lego set as well.
Oh.
So we like to give adults a chance to be creative, even if it's just with themselves. And it's great, especially if you're introverted, my husband is, that you could come in and just grab a weird coloring book and sit down and, or start building something. Something happens to people's brains that's really cool when you just sort of give them the opportunity to be creative. So it's a very playful place as well, and is supposed to stimulate people's imagination. And then outside of that, giving people just a venue to try out stuff. Like just whatever it is, if it's musically or, we have movie nights here and really for both of us, the weirder it is, the more receptive we are to trying it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also like to turn just random jokes into events. So that's how our drive pie ended up happening. We were gifted 3 gallons of heavy whipping cream from the co-op, and just decided, we were like, hey, what are we gonna do with this? And Jen was joking about cream pies.
Yeah, I said, let's whip it all up and have a pie in the face thing, and then she got the look on her face that I was like, oh shit, I said that out loud, and now we're doing it.
Cora was like, I take cream pies very seriously.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
And hey, here we are.
That's awesome. So when is that going on, by the way, this cream pie event?
That's gonna be this Saturday,
Excellent.
the 11th, from 3 to 5.
Oh, yeah.
It's called the Drive Pie. And you don't have to get out of your car, and probably you shouldn't. You can drive down Bank here, which is that little street where the washerwoman sign is on Vista. So you'll just make a left if you're coming from downtown onto Bank Drive, the Wells Fargo and the washerwoman sign are there, and go all the way to the end. And there will be some stations outside. We got a big pizza oven spatula to hand you your pie in the car window so we can observe social distancing. And then we'll have some brewers out from different breweries that have donated kegs for deep growler fill discounts, and all of the money. I think, what is it, $2 a pie? You can pick your favorite or your least favorite brewer, pie that person in the face for $2, and then get anywhere between a $10 and $15 growler fill for some decent beers, locally brewed beers. It should be a lot of fun. All the money goes to astagos.org. They assist in helping people experiencing homelessness, which seems like it's in the threat of growing at a lot faster rate right now than it has. So we do take some of our silly shit pretty seriously in the end. And we do a lot of charity stuff here too, because with all the entertaining and stuff that I've done in magic and in comedy, burlesque, I did burlesque for a while. With all of that, what I realized underneath that was that one of my core values is community. And that's where I'm the happiest, is when I have people that love each other and are kind and loving together, being creative. So that's kind of what this place is.
Well, and if it wasn't for the generosity of the community that we've built around this building, we wouldn't still be up and running, and even here 6 months after our open. So another thing Jen forgot to mention about this building is we have over 30 studios for artists' creative space, and we've gotten to pool a lot of those resources to help all around here and just make things amazing and creative, and just taking whims of an idea and just turning around 72 hours later and having it up and running in a professional capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's truly fantastic. Wow.
I just poured us another beer.
You did.
That
Sweet.
I actually got because of your weird coloring books stuff.
I know, I freaked out when I saw the can,
The
too,
label's
earlier.
fucking beautiful. It's just like a little cartoon strip. It's called fanzine because it looks like an old fanzine sort of strip. This is made in collaboration of Fort George. They are out of Washington, I think. Sure, let's go with that. Wait, nope. Oregon. Whoops. And they partnered, it's a collaboration with Grains of Wrath Brewery. It's a fucking great name for the record.
Did you say Grains of Wrath?
Grains of Wrath.
That's awesome.
Isn't it fucking awesome? So
My brain completed that as Grains of Wrath of Khan.
I-
Just so you know.
I completely heard that wroong, and I thought it was Grains of Rad. And I'm just like, that's a pretty cool
good.
name
That
as well.
That sounds like the band that plays there at the brewery.
So
house band, yeah.
I'm sure you can find it on their website. I'll try to have it posted on like our social media just so you can get an idea of this. I've actually had this beer. I'm pretty excited for you guys to try this. It's an IPA coming in at 6.7%. Vic, what do we got on Untapped?
Yeah, so this is coming in at 6.7%, as you had mentioned. I don't have any IBUs listed. This has an average rating of 4.07, which comes from 2,100 ratings. It's got a bit of a paragraph, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to give you the baseline.
But we all
of it.
want to hear that soothing chocolate
Seriously,
voice.
it is silky. It is.
Well, thank you guys. Here we go then. So in an ever hazier world, West Coast IPAs have nearly gone the way of the landline and fax machine. Fanzine IPA comes into focus as a crisp, clear West Coast style collaborative presentation from Fort George Brewing and Grains of Wrath Brewery. Fanzines are deeply rooted in the DIY ethos of the fiercely independent small run, self-published, Xeroxed, and stapled testaments to the object of true fans' reverence. The Fanzine IPA can features the art of independent folk legend Michael Hurley, who himself is the subject of a fanzine. Piney bitterness backs up the heavy hop additions with grapefruit and other citrus notes. Mild sweetness from the malt bill lingers with a taste of orange juice. You're welcome.
Oh, Lord. Man, that
You
works
should
even better than I expected it to after reading that for kind of where we is.
I'm still thinking you need to hire yourself out to just go like read people bedtime stories. Like that's it.
In case
Oh, I was
LeVar Burton needs a
mesmerized.
I know, me
replacement.
too. I was just staring over there like, wow,
Little
I haven't
LeVar
felt
Burton
this
Jr.
relaxed in a
here.
really long time. Is that this one here, or did I?
Yes, that's
Okay.
yours.
All
Yeah,
right.
I got you.
We poured you a mini.
I got you the littler one.
It smells like an IPA.
Oh, fuck yeah, it
Yeah.
does. And this is, I like the way they say that, a good traditional West Coast IPA, because it is gone the way of the landline. They're fucking hard to find because there's this haze craze. Everyone wants these fucking hazy, shitty IPAs that all fucking taste the same because I imagine people that love hazy IPAs also love, like, their favorite dinner is chicken nuggets and ketchup.
Oh,
It's like, get some real fucking taste buds, yo.
Use barbecue sauce.
And this is a beer drinker's IPA. I fucking love this IPA.
So somebody watching this was literally like,
You heard it here first.
And you know
folks.
they're the Dino Nuggets, too.
I recently found out that the McDonald's chicken nuggets are cut into specific shapes.
There's about 3 of them, yeah.
There's 4.
Oh, there's 4.
There's
Four's
the
about 3.
bell, the bow tie, a boot, and
and then the
something.
cancer-ridden colon shape,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Is
yeah,
that,
There you
was that
go.
the last
Yeah.
one? I thought it was.
Probably.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Is there a ribbon for colon cancer?
Oh, it's a bell.
It's a
Yeah.
bell.
I thought I
It's a
said
bell.
bell.
I don't know.
I said bell, and then I said bow tie.
If either of the two tech guys say that it is something, I just believe them because they're the smartest people I
They
know.
have it sitting right in front of them.
They're currently eating them. Yeah.
Wait, did you say that because he's back there eating those, or is that just a random coincidence?
that's
that
straight
Chris
up
back
random
there
coincidence.
talking
Oh wow! I wish we had a camera that could cut back to
Gosh.
that.
Oh
Right?
my God!
We
Can't plan for that,
apologize.
folks. Can't plan for that.
Boy, there's some serious psychic shit going on this stage. Because right before you spilled that beer, before we started the show, like what, 30 seconds before
Oh,
you spilled
not
it,
even that.
Cora
Not
was
even.
like,
Bob
we should
was
have some
like-
towels up here.
Yeah.
And and then he just boom, like, and I was like, was that on purpose? Like, this is my kingdom. I don't even know. And then
He was marking his territory.
I don't pee on things. I just
it's
spill
like,
beer.
God, what a diva.
But I like it because back to the beer.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
It is fruity. I get that citrus notes. I get that taste of orange. It has a good IPA piney smell to it, but to me, it doesn't have that dankness, that bitter IPA flavor that you would get on your palate,
The
like on your
copper.
tongue, that you almost feel like you need to scrape off. You don't get that at all with this one. I fucking love this beer. I would give this beer a 4.5. I fucking love this beer. This is one of the best IPAs I think I've had in a long time.
No kidding.
Yeah, I would
Because it's
And
agree.
with such a
real
cool story. Can I
IPA.
see the can? Yes.
I would definitely agree with that. Yeah, it's got this effervescent quality to it, which is fantastic. And right when you go in for a drink off the smell, you get that citrus, light pininess on the tail end of that, which is good. I'm going to do 4.25 on this one. I like this a lot. High redrinkability, sitting at 6.7%. Really solid place to be. I'm all right with it.
Ladies. Carl, how do you feel about IPAs in general? I know you do have a
Yeah.
good taste for beer. How do you like IPAs?
It really depends. Like if it sits too long with you, and I feel like I've got a mouthful of pennies, like I'm not happy with that.
That's great.
The,
yeah.
And I've
what-
definitely had some that
the
are like that.
ideal, or not, maybe not the ideal, but the traditional IPA, that old school IPA, that kind of gave that bitter beer face before they figured out different types of hops and malts and shit. IPAs can really taste like copper.
Yeah.
You're licking the inside of the can.
None of that sounds good.
Well, don't do it.
Well,
Yeah.
just what it tastes like.
Yeah.
No, I like this one, and I don't feel like it's like too in your face or like hop forward or anything like that. I would give this a 4.25. This is
Oh,
an
wow.
easy
Nice.
like I could drink this from like 10 a.m. till like 8 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that, probably.
Did you say 8 in the afternoon?
That's what I
Yeah.
thought she
Okay.
just said too. I was like, am I that buzzed by that? And by the way, I'm.
Oh no, this is easily a day drinking beer.
I could
Oh,
drink
great.
this all day. I think this is, at least to me, if I have somebody that's like, I don't really like IPAs, but I've heard they're good, I'd be like, try this fanzine. It might be a good gateway IPA.
Exactly. Great gateway IPA.
What do you rate it, Vic?
I give it a 4.25.
You did? Okay. So
Way to
4,
listen.
5, 45,
I'm,
45.
I'm just trying to imagine trying
right.
to drink this all day. Like I really, first of all, I've got a pretty good buzz going. This one definitely, I was like, woo! Just wow. I'm sorry, I just made everybody.
Jen just blew the speakers.
And yes, I did. But at least I took him out to dinner first. Sorry, I could not help myself.
Solid.
For me, it's a better night if you don't even have to go out to dinner. You just
Can I just pull my sweatpants down? Anyway, that's quarantine sex, everyone. Just that's a little bit of revealing piece of information. I usually don't like IPAs. They're skunky, you know, and
sure.
and
Yeah.
I don't think we mentioned this. I am a wine person. We got into doing more of the specialty beer here because we cannot afford the shit I want to drink as far as wine goes. Totally different world. But this one is like pretty drinkable. There's a couple of IPAs that I found that I really can enjoy, but I mean, not for very long. I'm gonna start slurring soon, you guys. I'd put this at like a 4, but maybe just because I'm not an IPA drinker.
That's
Well,
still an
that's okay,
incredible
yeah.
rating. Like for us, once you get over 4, that's an incredibly good rating.
Rarefied air.
Really, it is
Absolutely.
rarefied. We actually have a thing to where if everybody on rates it over a 4, it becomes a Beernomics recommended beer. And we actually have a little running
Well,
separate
I guess
list
I
for
pushed it
this,
over the edge.
so.
But honestly, I'm sitting over here going, well, as a completely unqualified idiot, I
Well,
give
no,
it a
but that
4.
means a lot, though. It
yeah.
really does, especially not being a beer drinker, not being an IPA fan to begin with. I would never call you an unqualified idiot. That seems rude. But to say that you still like it, I think goes exactly what we were saying with this beer, what it is. It's a good gateway IPA.
Yeah.
Fucking find this beer and drink it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Jen, would you have this beer again when presented?
Yeah, I
Okay.
would drink it again.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Where in Oregon is this beer from?
Astoria.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Land
is
of
it?
the Goonies.
Astoria. Oh, that's right. It is Goonie.
I've told around that town a couple times.
Cool.
All right. So
That's
back
rad.
to Gin and Coral. Who would win in a fight between David Blaine and Harry Houdini?
I'm sorry, again?
What?
All I heard was David Blaine and Harry Houdini, and
Who
I
would
was
win
like,
in a
those are
fight?
two completely different conversations
Yeah.
if you're going to,
No, the conversations, they're fighting. Who's going to win?
yeah.
okay. Who's going to win in a fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be hard for me to say Houdini because he did die from getting punched in the stomach.
No, actually, Houdini was I would pick Houdini. He was actually an incredibly physical dude. Not only did he do upside down straitjacket escapes, but he also would let people just punch him in the stomach as hard as they could because he had this sort of technique of being able to absorb it. So, I mean, just even if he didn't fight back, just sheerly wearing out David Blaine by having him punch him in the stomach over and over again, he would win. I think David Blaine would just forfeit after a while. But considering one is alive and one is dead, if we're talking strictly like today, definitely David Blaine because he is still amongst the living.
Yeah, Houdini
Yeah.
wouldn't put up much of a fight. Could anybody beat Penn Jillette's big ass in a fight, or would he just like hammer fist him?
it. yeah.
Well, I mean, Penn is like 60 now, so honestly,
he's still like
6'7"
6'7" though. That
He is.
motherfucker's
He is.
massive, and he looks good for 60.
I've partied at his house.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so
man.
jealous. Wait,
Yeah,
so have
yeah,
you?
back
Are you
in
one
my
of the?
Vegas days?
Are you one of the
he
rare
calls it
ones?
the slammer.
Are you one of the rare ones that have actually heard Taylor talk?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh god, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm so jealous.
he's a really cool dude. Penn and I have gotten in a few little argumentative debates, but that's because we're both kind of blowhards.
I would
so.
be terrified to argue with that man.
Yeah,
He's so smart and well
but
researched.
he's a pussycat though, and if you
You-
know that, then it's fun because then
Oh,
he just
really?
gets really like animated, like oh, you know, it's just like. But yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, we got into it over chiropractic care. He just tried to blast me about
Interesting
about it.
subject. Yeah.
Yeah, it was at a magic convention. My magic nerddom runs deep.
I love that.
Deep,
great.
Deep, yep.
That's such a fantastic combination you have with stand-up and magicry. I'm gonna go ahead and make up a word, magicry.
I like it.
How did you come about that?
Because you said
so-
her dad was a magician.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
But
my
then the
dad
stand-up's an interesting
was
transition.
a magician, and then I just decided when I was in Vegas. So my dad and I did a show. I dropped out of high school in the 9th grade because I realized that it would be much more fun to be in a magic show.
She
and
likes to
also-
say that she dropped out of high school in the 9th grade, but she actually just went ahead and got her GED.
Yeah, a year later. I
At-
spent a
at
year
like
slumming
14
it
or
as a
15.
dropout before my mom was like, you need to get your GED at least. I was like, fine. So I did that. But
for you.
no, I just went on the road with my dad. He was pretty successful, like entrepreneur, magician guy, like, and also a hand model on the side. My dad had beautiful hands, and he did a bunch of, in the 80s, a bunch of commercials on TV have his hands in them, actually. He did Colgate commercials, Kodak commercials, and the Snickers commercial where the hand comes out and there's peanuts and it closes, and then there's a Snickers bar. It's my dad's hand.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
right?
cool.
What a weird thing. Funny little story, though. Because he was, I think, 12 years older than my mom, and they met in the 60s, which is another weird story, like at this place called Magic Mountain, but not the one in California. It was this little, like, hippie commune in upstate New York. And my mom was 19 and showed up on the back of her boyfriend's motorcycle with her guitar. She's a folk singer and a dancer. And my dad was there with his second baby mama and batch of kids. And at some point during the summer, they just switched partners and then just left that way. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I didn't have the whole like, hey, so how'd you meet mom? Different conversation than probably most people. Shit, I got off track. What the hell were we just talking about?
No. Just, yeah, your history with magicry and stand-up, that transition.
Oh yeah, so I left school and just traveled with my dad, and he wound up passing away when I was 19. And at that point, that's like the skill that I had because I had been doing it for the last few years. So I just kept going, and I wound up going to Vegas, and because I grew up in the business, I knew a lot of the kind of bigger up magicians because my dad knew all of them. And so I just moved to Vegas. I worked at Caesars for a couple of years at Caesars Magical Empire, which was this amazing, like, $80 million facility that they built that had different like dining pods and a big theater called the Sultan's Palace. And so I worked in a bunch of those rooms there. Yeah, I keep forgetting what this is beer allergy, guys. I keep just going like, what the hell am I saying right now in the middle of saying, because it's the yeast content. Like I have a sensitivity to the yeast in it, and it makes me really stupid.
Huh.
Like just to where like I feel like I have dementia a little bit. I'm like, whoa, who are you
You just
guys?
get
Like,
real drunk real quick.
It's like a Dory syndrome.
You guys
No,
have
you're
been
okay.
hammered.
Yeah.
I take a lot of side routes on the way to the point when I have some beer in me. So
It's all right.
I don't
Sometimes
know
we
what
call it the
point
bird
is.
walk. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, did you just ask me about my magic background?
Yep.
Oh yeah, guys, that's what it was. Okay. So I just got into it because of my dad, and then I realized while I was doing magic in Vegas that I was really Caesar's kind of beat it out of me a little bit too because we worked 6 nights a week, sometimes up to 7 shows a night.
Dang.
And it doesn't matter what you're doing. The thing you love the most. I mean, even porn stars are like, not again, right? When you have forced to do the same thing over and over and over again, you're like,
Yeah.
fuck, man. This is just horrible. So I went through like my own like, well, what am I doing with my life kind of thing. I don't want to be a Caesar's monkey. So I just realized everything that I did was based on joking about it, and I've always been that way anyway. Like I've got a punk rock, early hip hop spirit like in me
There you
that's
go.
just like fuck.
I sense it. I
Fuck
sense
the
it.
man, right? So and I've just always gone towards underground things, and I just realized like I want to be a comedian.
Yep.
And then so I wrote some material, and 2 days later went out to an open mic, which was at a bar called the Las Vegas Lounge. I don't even know if it's there anymore. It was underneath an escort service, and it was where all the hookers met their Johns. So my first stand-up was for a bunch of like prostitutes and clients, and it was awesome. It
I would
was so
imagine
great.
so.
Yeah,
At
that's
least
rad.
you know there
They
probably
were
aren't
great.
many sensitive topics there.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
No, it was just whatever. But I mean, I'm not somebody that is ever worried about what I say. I mean, sometimes I'll get sensitive about it, but no, my mom one time was like, you know why I don't like going out with you? I never know what's going to come out of your mouth, right? So that's an insight into why I should have been a stand-up comedian in the first place, because I just blurt things out, and then it's awkward, but most of the time people laugh, so it's all good.
It's fantastic. No, that's great. Thanks for sharing. What do you think, guys? Another beer?
I think we should take a quick break
Okay.
because I have to pee.
I definitely need to use the restroom.
Sure.
And then
Oh,
we'll get right
can we-
back. Yeah.
We should oh man, no, I just like this is such a tight little it would be fun to just keep we can cut it out later, but for the blooper reel, let's just leave the cameras recording just to watch everybody try to get the fuck out of this thing.
I got some really flowy material on
there
me.
you go,
This may be
yeah.
difficult.
Oh, yeah. Watch your step there.
Oh, I don't know. I think we're just gonna chop it up or just get. We're kind of hoping that you'll do some editing. Like if we have a bit more as opposed to less, then we can kind of like. Obviously, we're
No, I get you.
Yeah.
The only reason that I have that question is because, like, I think, like,
That's good.
probably about 34 minutes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, because we also have the other thing coming in too. Oh yeah. We got round up at about 30-ish. We got 30 because we at least have to do this and we get it ready for the next thing. So that's fine. That's fine.
We're going to be half down at least for both.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, shit, this is on this recording on the computer, right? Like, we don't even have to stop it. We need to step away and do whatever. Like, this really just sounds set, or it's set. You gotta have a meeting, just do it, and then Oh, Well, there's Make Dreaming, and there's
They're coming in. They're coming in for one more, like I said, like initial panel. I'm just saying. Yeah. Well, these chairs are longer. I know. I'm just saying. Yeah. Okay. We got that one. See what I'm saying? Yeah.
the first show just in front of that vinyl banner.
What vinyl banner?
The square. The first comic of the month was in front of that, right? Or did we have a green screen after that one? That was
We had
last-
the first green screen because remember she was trying to get like that kind of stage background.
Well, yeah, but the first one we had on Thursday, we had the Smoky Nightclub one, which was cool. So I like that we have the spaceship. I think if we do it again, I'd like to get an inside a cave environment.
Yeah.
On the moon or like on a planet, I think would be fun.
Yeah, I
know what else would be really fun is the transporter pad in Star Trek. You know where they beam up and down.
I'm shitty because I don't want to.
No, it's okay. I mean, but I wonder if we could pull it or not to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just dude, like the fact that you can do what you can do has my brain going like in fucking sane right now.
And it's like because it's like the people. I don't mean anything by this. This is just literally like no. The people who can't do it, they have all the ideas, and the people who can do it, they're just like, what do I do? It's like whenever I get a fresh canvas, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna draw. If you guys want me to draw, like, yeah, just draw whatever. Like,
Right.
help me.
Yeah, there's fun prompts for that because that happens to me with well, it used to probably a lot more with my own stuff, but also one of my favorite things in the world to do is like joke doctor for other people because I have materials to work with. So I kind of feel like this is like the same thing for me. Like I know I have this digital piece and I have these physical pieces and these are the people I have to work with. So okay, what can I put together with my resources? You know,
Because the problem I always run into is like.
that's milk, Harry. Yeah. He's like, oh, I'm do this, and then we're just talking while he's doing it.
He works at McDonald's. He's pretty used to it.
Oh my god! Is this, are we just pushing this back?
I'm just moving these and we're so we can.
Oh, yeah, right on.
Because it'd be easier than moving this.
No, that thing weighs a lot, so. That's out of the
At
way.
McDonald's, you're used to like having to do all the work. No, I'm just used to just, yeah. Make it more. I like the work. That's why I like animal cars. You can move everything, just like slide.
Oh, okay, yeah, yep. Yelpers and yelpers. So I think Hamlin wants to do this again next month, and I'm super down. It's really fun, and I think she made. I haven't checked for tonight's sales, but they sold $120 in tickets last night. Yeah, so they're up to 270.
Yeah, I heard we had sold a shitload of things. I just think they're how much we want.
Yeah, well, and then by the end of tonight, it should be a pretty decent amount. So. Right, it was fine. That's just it. It was just stuck there. So. Mark. Yay. I'll move that one over to you and just throw the chairs over here so they probably use them more often than the rest.
I got an idea right now. Watch out. Okay.
I'll just flip it up so it's not taking up so much real estate. Hey, look at you being smart.
So I used to wear a shitload of different hats for jobs.
Yeah, same.
A developer, I developed in C#, C++, Java, and JavaScript for a program.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard of all of those things, but that's all I know is the names of them, and I know it's programming.
I've worked as a warehouse manager, worked as a restaurant manager, I've worked just about every fucking job in the restaurant, down to the cook, the bouncer, bartender. Once I got my bartending license in Illinois, that's not fun. Because they make you take a whole class on it. You have to take like a year class.
On bartending?
Yeah, you actually have, for a bartending license, you have to become a mixologist.
Here you have to watch some videos and take a test. In New York, I didn't even have to do that, and I illegally bartended when I was like 17.
Yeah, but who's gonna like pump in the man? Fucking some suit comes in.
Out here, they do. They do. Oh my god. Out here, but these motherfuckers are so bored, I can't even tell you. No, you know what's funny is in between performance gigs and stuff, I had to shit on them. And as far as like being able to be a good employee or be able to do myself, I'm good at those things. And even if the details change, so long as you know the details, it's fine. But that definitely convinces me for sure. I'm like, yeah, you're starting to throw out. I've always lived
trying to like drill it into place, get it all set up, and like trying to lift it more. Like, Christ.
Wow. Oh, I thought I already took it off. Nope, got distracted. Wow. Hey, let's go put them right here on the edge. I usually put them there because I know if you see them there, if I'm not going back there and put them on the robot, you can get back there. All right, let's get back to it so we can finish up and
Get it better.
guys actually have a show that doesn't feel weirdly rushed at the end. I've seen movies like that where they're like, well, they rushed that part.
Ran out of budget.
Zero storage room keys. Woo, all right. I was pointing out to Coral. It might have gone down, but it started. My little red.
Oh, I see it.
Oh, yep. Isn't that fun?
You okay?
Oh, I'm fine. Oddly, the only way that it really affects me is physically is like that. Like I don't get breathing problems and a little bit of brain fog, and then I just get really drunk. Like right now, I feel pretty drunk off of like less than 1 pint.
I'm the same way when it comes to THC. So I have a slight allergy for THC. It's not THC directly, but it's some but essentially what it is my body can process it. So it'll essentially just stay in my bloodstream. And I'm just like,
Ha.
Yep, not me, I go to the hospital.
really?
I'm allergic.
Fuck.
Yeah, imagine starting to join it, it's like out.
Yeah, how do you explain that?
What did we decide?
That's
So what
crazy.
we are doing is we are coming back. We're going to go straight to the roof. Coral's going to tell us all about it, and then we're going to do what the lounge is going to do for the rest of their, or kind of when their quarantine is, what their goals
Right here,
are,
if you want to pull up the roof loggers.
outreaches, whatever it may be. Do these need to be rinsed? So then we'll come back. I'll bring us back. Carl will talk about the beer and their specials. So don't forget to talk about. Come here, pick up this growler. This is our special. If you want to if you mention Beernomics, you'll get an extra hand job
Do
or
you need more
whatever. I
than just
don't
the
know.
untapped stuff, or I don't know what you want to pull up as far as.
There was an article written about it.
Okay, well here there's a bunch of stuff in the Google search.
Well, we got it here too for it. So whatever
There's
you know.
something specific she wanted to make sure to refer to.
Exactly.
Can I put this down?
Yeah.
So are we finishing with the roofs then? Yes. Oh, we're not. Okay.
So we're going to come back, start with the roof. Coral's going to tell us all about it. Then Jen is going to tell us what's up, just what they're doing, what they want to do, if there's any outreach you want to do. And by that I mean we're looking for this. Contact us here. Follow us on these things. We want to do this. So if you're an artist interested, whatever.
Yeah.
It's your thought, but my whole thing is mostly, like we talked about, quarantine related, let people know there's a place that they can still unleash their creativity if they have a set or whatever they want. You do you, boo. You do you.
Okay. I can do that.
I trust you. Don't make me regret it. I'm kidding.
Some people do. So those people are usually not people I would normally hang out with. Though, so.
All right, just remember.
Like my mom, who's
We're
like,
keeping you guys are ready. That way, whenever we're editing, we'll be like, all right, so that's the problem.
Yeah. You
Oh,
bet.
it's still recording. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still letting the cameras roll because it'll be funny for later on. Laura and
We'll see.
Zach
Oh, no.
should be good.
Papa, can you hear
because it doesn't turn off because I set it up. All by myself.
I forgot about my
I don't
microphone.
wanna be all by myself.
Vic, what's love like?
It's kind of like
I'm gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight. I'm gonna grab some afternoon delight. My motto's always been when it's right, while waiting till the middle of a cold, dark night. When everything's a little clearer in the light of day. And you know the night is always gonna be there anyway. Thinking always working up my appetite. Looking forward to a little afternoon delight. Rubbing sticks and stones together make the sparks ignite. While the thought of loving you's got me so excited. Sky rockets in flight. Boo! Afternoon delight. Whoop! Afternoon delight.
That went on way longer than I expected.
Yeah, you weren't
real.
expecting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic.
Wow, yeah. I was just thinking about that song. Sometimes
about
when
that
you hear
song,
it
it's
out
some
of context,
daytime
you listen to the
fucking.
lyrics, like, again, for the first time, and I was like, wow, I don't know that a woman would have ever written a song like that.
Nope.
Maybe, I don't know. But
Probably not.
Did a woman write that song?
no, a
No.
dude had to have hopped out of bed after afternoon sex and just
Sure.
been like, yes! Like,
All about it.
I don't know.
We
A
love that
musician,
daytime
clearly.
love making.
I don't know. American Love.
Nice little nooner.
All right, well, let's make beer.
Yes.
Oh,
all
yeah,
right.
let's do that. Okay.
And we are going to be back in 5,
Oh, wait, we have to be
4.
back when he
Uh-oh.
says so.
No. Oh.
3. All right, time to drink another beer, motherfuckers. Let's
do this.
Yeah!
So this is our I'd Tap That segment. For those of you that are new to the podcast, or as a quick reminder, our I'd Tap That segment, since we are an Idaho-based podcast, is where we pick a beer from Idaho, profile it, taste it, judge it, and decide if we would tap it. As in, put it in a keg, drink it again, tell our friends about it. So let's find out. Coral, what do we have on tap?
Well, so I definitely tap this, obviously, because I already carry it on tap. But
Nice.
this is Ruth's Lager. It's from County Line Brewing. They're in Garden City, Idaho. So just our neighbors down on Chinden Boulevard. But they're wonderful, and I love their beers. But this is Ruth's Lager. Part of the proceeds or profits of this beer goes to a nursing scholarship for local BSU students that are going after labor, delivery, and NICU degrees in the nursing program. It was named after their daughter, who didn't quite survive a day, unfortunately, but the care that they received and what the hospital provided and what the nurses provided, instilled them to want to do something for them. And with the climate today, we thought this would be a good beer to talk about because we've got a lot of frontline workers that and responders that are risking a lot, and this is a great beer to be able to give back to that and also drink. It's kind of like the Shriners. You get to drink for a good cause.
There's no better reason to drink than for a good cause.
I love
can't
drinking for a
imagine,
good
yeah.
cause.
Well, and who doesn't like a good lager as well?
It's very true.
That is true.
100.
What do we have? Do you want to pull up their Untapped on us, Vic? What do we got? ABV wise, IBU wise, check-in wise, rating wise? You know the drill.
Well, thank you for that nice intro. Yeah, so this is coming in at 4.8% alcohol by volume, sitting at 19 IBUs with an average rating of 3.56, which comes from about 277 ratings thus far. It reads as follows. Ruth's Lager is a very clean, crisp, and refreshing light lager that pays tribute to our lost junior brewer, Ruth Elizabeth Keel. A portion of each beer and keg sold will be donated to Ruth E. Keel Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship benefits students in the nursing program at the Boise State University. As Coral mentioned, I added that last part just because Coral had already said it.
Good job.
Thank you.
So on the podcast, I have a general rule of thumb, or not in the podcast, in life. I don't typically drink beer under 5%. If it's under 5%, it might as well be a soda. But we're at 4.8, so we can round up.
And
That's-
also, if you don't drink this one, you're an asshole.
Exactly.
There you go.
There's such a good story to this beer. There's such a good cause to this beer, and all in all, it's a very tasty beverage. It's one that
Absolutely.
I see quite a bit around here. Whether you're at one of, Albertsons, Winco. I think I've even seen it at like grocery outlet and weird little places like that. So it is pretty accessible. And obviously, if you read that, if you want a good light all day drinking beer, go drink this beer. And it's well priced too. I know that at the grocery stores it's not much, but I believe are you doing some growler specials on
We
this?
are
What's up with
doing
that?
some growler specials. So while supplies last, we have $10 or $12 growler fills. If you mention that you're with Beernomics, you'll get actually a little bit of an extra discount on that. You'll get $10 growler fills.
Oh, snap.
You heard it here first.
Boom. That's all I had to add to that. That was it. It's coming in at the end like Flavor Flav. Yeah, boy.
Flavor Flav.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm not a beer drinker. That would be my drink all day beer. That one right there, like a nice, just crisp, but just very smooth all the way across. Nothing really changes in the palate. It's kind of like, the I was going to say the herbal tea of beers, but I didn't want to be really, putting them down like that. Except that I love herbal tea and I could drink it all day, and I do. So
it doesn't give you the jitters because
yeah,
it has
that
no
too.
caffeine.
But I mean, it just it's just smooth all the way. Like as a wine drinker, I pay attention to what's on the front, how it kind of goes across the palate, what the finish is like, and this is just smooth.
I would almost liken this beer for me to like a classic rock playlist. And I mean that in the sense that you may not hear the greatest songs, but you'll never hear the worst songs. It's not offensive no matter where you are. You'll be able to enjoy it. No matter what the background setting is, it'll always work for it. So, I don't know. I dig this beer a lot. To your point, it is a good all-day
love that
drinker.
analogy.
I feel
and
that
if
way
you
about
don't want-
90s
That's
alternative.
great. It's like you can just tolerate that Eagles song because next up is something off Led Zeppelin 3.
There
Like,
we go.
we're
So
good.
There you go.
let's just fucking deal with Hotel California for a second. Don't worry, it gets better.
That's awesome.
But no, I actually enjoy this quite a bit. I'd give it a 3.25, and I would tap it.
Fantastic. No, I love this beer. I think it's fantastic. It's sweet, little bit of nice spice. I get that herbal tea element you were talking about, Jen. I totally understand it. I would give this beer a 3.5. Definitely tap this beer, mostly because it's for a great cause, and it's a good beer. They did a good job.
I'd give this beer a 4 just because I have spent 12-hour days drinking this beer in the past.
See, there you go.
There you go.
I first ran across this beer at I think it was Ballparks and Brew a couple years ago.
I think we were there together.
Yeah,
actually.
I think I ran into you guys down there. I was
That whole
significant-
exchange sounds like there's something you two are hiding. So we're just gonna not mention that whole other thing that happened with those other guys. Like, just forget it. Like,
yeah.
we're not even.
It was anal in public. I was the receiver.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Fair.
Sorry, you go on. I'm
still
gonna cut
walk
her off.
in.
Interesting things happen when we run into each other in public. That's all I gotta say. And it's more frequent than you would imagine. Boise is a very small town.
Big
Well, we
small
like
place.
beer and punk rock. It's not that hard.
That's very true.
There you
That's a
go.
very small
Yeah,
community.
no.
You run into each other
Boise
and a
is
lot of
actually
things.
a small town. I'm like Coral. I would also give this a 4, and mostly I think just because of my what I like as far as flavors go, and the fact that if all there was to drink was beer, out of all the things that we drank today, this is the one I would pick up and be like, nope, I'm good. I know what I want. I'm going to drink this for the rest of the time. Just going to hoard this at the party. That's mine. You guys can have all the rest of it. So, I like the flavor of it. I like that it's nice and mild, and there's hints of different things, but there's nothing like, just all up in your grill. So that's good. Sorry at home for.
And
my
we know
problem
you
with the
guys would
mic.
tap it because, well, you literally have a
Yeah,
handle.
we
There's
we
literally
have
a tap
our
here.
This is fresh off draft, so
Yeah.
it's beautiful. So again, thank you. We enjoy it. Remember, mention Beernomics. Come on down, give them a call. $10 growlers.
We also have them available for pickup and delivery. If you go to our website, loungeboise.com, there's a Growlers and More section on that page that you can go to and get all of your beer needs met.
Indeed. All right, so let's kind of start to wrap up here. Now I just want to do a little bit of highlight what the lounge, what we're going to be doing, what you're looking forward to, what you're looking for, what we're trying to accomplish within this quarantine. So
Right on.
Yes.
Floor is yours.
All right, so this is particularly crazy, I think. Well, for everybody, but I mean, being somebody in the entertainment business and having spent 30 some odd years as an entertainer, on the club end of it, I mean, we're just closed, so no brainer. But I can't even imagine being a performer, entertainer, somebody that is a gig-based, income. Trying to do anything during this time. So we've kind of refurbished the lounge as a live stream TV station, and our whole goal is to help artists and entertainers sustain even just grocery money, just something, but also be able to still do what they do. And if you're quarantined at home, I would imagine, probably went through all the movies you want to see on Netflix, or maybe you didn't, but to be able to be in your community and see performances that are going on. So we are putting up all kinds of different things. I mean, we had a cooking show last week with Art Robinson from WEPA, because we figured, people might be getting sick of their own cooking by now. Like, let's have some restaurants on that can do a little cooking show segment and show people how to make something new. But just being able to tune into some of the artists and musicians that you would normally be out seeing, I think is important. And we generate unique ticket codes for them, and you can go on and watch it for free. But we do have the availability for you to buy a virtual ticket, and all of that money goes towards the artist and our tech crew, who are also doing things that I could not do and making this possible in the first place. So we give 80% to the people that are doing the show and 20% to our tech crew. And we figure just trying to build the community, like the lounge. It's it's like that thing from Thor, Ragnarok, where he's like, Asgard's not a place, it's a people. Like, that's kind of how we feel about the lounge.
Right.
It is,
I love that so
it
much.
is. I know, not to use a perfectly dorky reference in our
you're
own
speaking our
place.
language, Jen.
You're playing to
But-
the right crowd here.
Yeah.
I tell
But
you
yeah,
that.
so we're trying to do our piece, because without artists and entertainers and those people, the lounge isn't anything but an empty space, because that's what brings the people here. So that's what we're trying to do. So if you want to find out what we're doing, loungeboise.com. If you go to the events tab, that will show you all the things that are coming up on our calendar. Thank you. And this is why we have the towels. But we are adding new things all the time, and we want to support other artists that are out there, or people that want to do a talk show or a cooking show or whatever your creative thing is, because that's kind of what we do here anyway. We do creativity, but we want to share you with the rest of the community, because that's really our core value. That's the Gem Center for the Arts core value. That is the Lounge at the End of the Universe value. It is about community, and we need that more than ever right now. And if you're an extroverted person like me, that literally opened a place to throw parties because you like being at parties the most out of everything in the world, this is pretty difficult. But either way, loungeboise.com. And if you are somebody that wants to come and do something here at the lounge on camera, please contact us. You can go to leuboise@gmail. Email us there. So that's like Lounge and Universe, leuboise@gmail. And come in and do something. Be a part of what's happening, and a part of people's at home chance to still feel like they're connected.
I think it's really important for people that are creative and need to get out in their community and do their thing to know they have a safe, accessible spot for it. Again, no matter what you do, that's what I love, is you can be creative with food, beer, music, stand-up, whatever. You have a place to do it. Don't sit there in your home and stool. Let's just do it. Got a good place. Let's finish on a beer, guys. We
All
have a
right.
nice little fun dessert beer to finish with. We're gonna fucking get weird.
Dessert beer.
All
I
right.
love
So
it.
this is from Dyad. It is their blackberries and cream, a sour kombucha ale with blackberries and lactose. What do we got on Untapped, Vic?
Oh, yeah. So not a whole lot, actually. This is sitting at 7.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. It's sitting at 3.99, and that comes from about 1,300 ratings. It reads as follows. Sour ale with blackberries and lactose added. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
So Jerry, did I hear correctly? This is brewed with lactose.
Yeah,
aren't
like-
you lactose intolerant?
Yeah,
True
so
story.
it's not just you.
So this is
man.
going to be interesting for both
now,
of you.
well, now thank you for saving this one for last, buddy.
Exactly,
Appreciate
and that's
that.
why I'm glad
and
I
so
live
do
real
all of our
close to
noses.
here.
All right.
So yeah, this could be an interesting one. It's been sitting in my fridge for a long time, but I do love blackberries. It's probably the only thing because I'm not excited about the fucking sour cream or kombucha aspect. So seems like a beer that would be brewed on a fucking hippie compound.
So I'm a person that's actually allergic to penicillin, so mold actually kind of scares me. So this is
Oh, geez.
probably one of the first kombuchas I've ever drank.
Oh, this is fantastic.
I feel like I need to have 911 on speed dial right now with what's
Well,
going on here.
We
Good
have so
Lord.
many allergies going around the table. Do we have EpiPens?
I don't know.
ready?
It's starting to sound like a friggin' nursing home. I can't have that. It gives me the runs. I get it. When I saw the can and it said sour, I was just like, oh man, because I had been telling Jerry earlier that sours, when I smell them, it smells like I'm about to drink something I drank earlier that was wine, and then threw it up, and then and this is actually I would drink this again.
This is really
This doesn't
fucking
taste
good.
like a sour. It's so mellow.
I think it's a
There's,
creamy
yeah, there's
element,
very little
yeah.
sour, very little tart. Like it's there. You can tell there's something going on, but it almost to me tastes more like a live yeast or wild ale strain or something like that. Not. Yeah.
And the viscosity is different too. Like it's got like a cream ale feel, like a Cali Creamin' or something like that. Like like
yeah.
not flavor wise the same, but
Sure.
just that level of viscosity.
Mouth
I feel you
yeah.
there. Man, I like this. What's the rating, Vic?
3.99 on the Richter.
I'd give it a 4. I can agree with that. I'll give it a 4 all day.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
I really like this is really good. I'm actually surprised how much I'm enjoying this one. Also, the fact that it's 7.25%, it don't hurt me one bit.
Well, and you said you brought this because it had been sitting in your fridge, right?
Correct, because I've just been waiting for the right opportunity, and why not now? And sours are a beer that sours, porters, stouts, you can hold on to forever, as long as you hold on to them right. Can't do that with ambers, lagers, IPAs, whatever. So
Got a bit of a shelf life to them.
yeah, these ones don't, and sometimes the longer you hold on to them, even the better they get. So it was just, this is the only one I didn't have like a reason to bring over other than, yeah, fuck it, which is sometimes my
Fucking
favorite
is
reason.
one of my favorite reasons ever.
It's good.
We've done a lot of things because of fuck it.
Exactly. Well, I think we're wrapping up. We have other people waiting, so I don't want to keep them too long. Do you guys have any final thoughts, words of wisdom you'd like to say about the lounge or anything before we boogie on out?
Well, I can't believe it, but I'm going to give this sour a 4, so we'll start there. Outside of that, just contact us if you want to come and do something. It's loungeboise.com is the website, and then LEU Boise, Lou Boise at Gmail is our website. Thank you for coming and doing this. We appreciate you. Also, I love to learn about, well, especially alcohol. That's a super fun subject. And just be able to, grow the community in every way possible.
Coral, Vic, did you rate it real quick? I don't think you did. I think I was.
I'm gonna go on the opposite side of this one because I feel like this is coating my tongue with some sort of weird something or other, and all I taste is mildew.
Oh no.
No.
If you want to drink something like your grandma's wet magazines in the basement.
Can I get some milk of magnesia?
Like I'm gonna rate this at a 1 point. Can we do? We can do quarters, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna do like a 1.5, and
Okay.
the only
Damn.
redeeming quality of this is
Damn.
it's kind of fruity, but it's 7.25%. So I mean, you can plug
That's
your
a
nose.
redeeming
and-
quality, right
She was
there.
the Simon
Drink
Cowell
this.
of this panel right now. Like, oh, it's crap.
Like I don't know. I need something else to uncoat my tongue with.
All right.
After this, I feel like I need to go back to that IPA from earlier.
Vic,
that's
finish it
good.
up, big dog. Give us rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's got an interesting mouthfeel, interesting nose quality to it. The sour kombucha situation. I'm not the biggest fan of kombuchas, but this one's interesting. I'm going to tag this at a 3.5, honestly. I like what they're trying to accomplish. The 7% doesn't hurt me at all. I said it slow so you know. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I like that. That's a good rating. I like that we're kind of all over on this one. So, Jen Coral, thank you so much for hosting us. We look
Thank
forward
you.
to doing more things. Brewers that are out there that want to come on, show your product, let us know what's going on.
Yep.
Please get a hold of us, either Brewnomics or Lounge, one of the two. We're all Brewnomics on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Twitter.
We're not cool enough for anything else.
It's true.
But until next time, make sure you follow Lounge on all things social media, us on all things social media. Be good to each other. Drink good beer. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm Jerry.
I'm Vic.
I'm Coral.
I'm Jen.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.